There's another topic that made me mad, especially because we're recording this the day after Wrestlemania
Oh, okay.
Backlash.
I
Now,
did not watch this pay-per-view.
Devin did not
I
watch
straight
it.
up did not watch it. I said, fuck this pay-per-view.
Yeah, I watched it for two matches. The Mysterios versus Ziggler and Rude, because I wanted to see if the Mysterios would win. Spoiler alert, they did, in a great match. That match, definitely check it out. And Cesaro and Roman. That's the only two matches I wanted to watch, but I had to set through, if I didn't want ads for later, I had to set through the live show. So, I bit the bullet. I was on Twitter for most of the time, but there was a segment that I could not be on Twitter for because I was shocked. I was shocked. I was baffled on why they would do this. And I'm gonna tell you right now, I love Miz and I love Damian Priest, but I have lost so much respect for the both of them. For doing
Oh my
even
god.
John Morrison. I have lost respect for him too. Now, give you a little bit of background. Batista's movie Army of the Dead, which I want to do on the live commentary series sometime, uh, comes out soon. I think it's out actually on Netflix, and so WWE was sponsored by it. So they decide instead of playing an ad like they normally do, to take Damian Priest versus The Miz and make it a lumberjack match. I'm like, okay, a lumberjack match. That's interesting. We don't usually get to see those, so I'm interested to see what they do. Tell me, please tell me why, instead of playing an ad, they had multiple stunt guys, probably some guys from the Performance Center, that had probably ruined their careers doing this, dress up as zombies and be lumberjacks. This is the most AEW Impact shit I have ever seen on WWE television. It wasn't even television, it was pay-per-view. It was on Peacock.
Mm-hmm. Pay for it.
So I was shocked. I was shocked. I didn't go off on Twitter. In fact, after this, I didn't tweet no more on Twitter. You could go look at my Twitter, because I didn't tweet anything. All I said was, why would I watch this when I could just watch Night of the Living Dead? That's what I said on Twitter, and I said nothing else after this about this entire pay-per-view. And this pay-per-view was so boring, besides that tag team match, that I fell asleep in one of the matches that I wanted to see. I fell asleep in Cesaro versus Roman Reigns. That's how bad this pay-per-view was. I'm gonna give you a step-by-step of what every match on the pay-per-view. The pre-show was Sheamus versus fucking Ricochet. If I wanted to watch that, I would watch Raw. Okay? The first match on the main card is Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte Flair versus Asuka. Did not care. I didn't care whatsoever. The only person I cared about in that match was Rhea Ripley. And you know what? She won. But it wasn't a good match. Then finally we get to the Mysterios versus Dolph and Robert Roode. It was a great match. I didn't even mind the false finishes in the match because it had storytelling to it. On the pre-show, Roode and Ziggler attacked Dominic in the backstage. So Dominic was hurt, and it was Ray. It was just gonna be Ray out there for just in like a handicap match for the tag titles. Then Dominic comes out halfway through the match and helps Ray, and they both win the titles as the first ever father and son tag team champions. Great match. I suggest that if you don't want to watch Cesaro and Roman, that's the only match you need to watch then. The tag team match. That was great. Then we get the zombie disaster, the promotion for Army of the Dead. So, I'm at this point I'm checked out. I'm like, I just want to see Cesaro versus Roman. I just want to see Cesaro versus Roman. Please, I don't care about any other match. That's all I'm thinking in my head. All I'm thinking. So, and next is Bianca and Bayley. I don't care. I just don't care. I just don't care. I go on Twitter. I look at stuff. I just look through Twitter. I don't care. Bianca wins, obviously. It didn't matter to me. It didn't matter. Then we get another match that I was just dreading. By the way, there's 2 triple threat matches on this card. So, and the same ending happened on both of the matches. I'm not even joking. So, Rhea Ripley throws out Charlotte Flair and pins Asuka to win the match. You want to know what Bobby Lashley did?
Same thing.
He threw out Drew McIntyre, speared Braun, and pinned Braun to win the match. It's cool that Bobby retained and everything, but I didn't want to see a finish that was done twice. And then we finally get to Cesaro versus Roman, and I'm watching it, and I'm like, okay, this is good. And then for some reason, I black out for a minute, and then 5 minutes later, I see Cesaro upcutting Roman. I'm like, okay, I must have dozed off. I need to get myself some water. I didn't get myself water. And I'm sitting there watching it, and then I doze off again, and next thing I know, my mom wakes me up, and a watch-along is going on for Backlash. I didn't see what happened with Roman versus Cesaro. I saw it afterwards on Twitter, and I'm just like, I went through all of that to fall asleep. So, safe to say... Oh, and that... You want to know the cherry on top? You want to know the cherry on top of everything? Hell in a Cell is in June. Because that makes sense. So... I'd like to get to the Stranger Things review because I don't want to talk about WrestleMania Backlash no more. What's your thoughts on WrestleMania Backlash from what I just said?
I mean, I knew what I was getting into. I don't know why you made yourself watch it.
I just wanted to see 2 matches. That's all I wanted to see.
I told you you could have saw it after it was over.
But I only have the thing on Peacock to where I have to watch ads to get there, and I didn't know when.
Well, I mean, that would have been better than trying to watch this whole fucking thing. I knew exactly what this is going to be. It's going to be rematches from WrestleMania, maybe a few with a little twist, but nothing really to care about. Because Backlash it basically is just the new Extreme Rules because they did the same shit with Extreme Rules where it's just WrestleMania rematches. They literally put WrestleMania in the fucking title of the pay-per-view. Like, that should have told you right there what this pay-per-view was going to be. So, I specifically avoided this pay-per-view because I knew how bad it was going to be. So, I mean, I'm not mad because I didn't waste my time watching it.
The only highlight I got from that was the Mysterios versus Dolph in Rude. Like, that's the only highlight from that pay-per-view because I didn't get to see Roman versus Cesaro because my ass was too tired after all the fucking zombie shit.
Mm-hmm. Ladies and gentlemen, that's what happens when you fucking force yourself to watch torture.
I mean, I'm mad at myself for falling asleep because that's what I was waiting for. I'm sitting there, man. I sit there and watch 2 triple threats. 2.
Was Roman and Cesaro the main event?
Yeah. You know, I'm starting to get like Jim Cornette. I don't like triple threats no more. Like I don't. They're so overdone. They make no sense no more. And they're the same fucking finish every time. Like I can't even.
Oh my goodness. Fuck WrestleMania Backlash. I didn't watch that garbage. I'm glad I didn't.
If you want to watch anything good on that pay-per-view, just watch the Mysterios versus fucking Rude and Dolph. I know that was for sure good.